If you're new here and into cars, sign up. I'm all about good information, good photography, and not wasting your time. And Costco toilet paper too, you'll see. Americans have been moving from rural to urban areas for decades. Apparently, we miss the romance of the great outdoors, since SUVs and crossovers have outsold sedans for some 5 years now. When Nissan revamped the Pathfinder for 2022, the design went from soft and swoopy to rugged and broad-shouldered, like the brawny paper towel guy. And now there's the Rock Creek model, aimed at buyers that might do a little bit more off-roading or just want to look like they do. Buyers ditched minivans because they prefer the rugged look of SUVs and crossovers, so it only makes sense to add a little extra bravado. And it seems like it's a trend. Ford has the Explorer Timberline, there's the Kia Telluride X-Pro, Hyundai Palisade XRT, and Subaru has the Wilderness series. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see Nissan apply the Rock Creek treatment to the Rogue. What is the Rock Creek treatment? Well, gather around the campfire and I'll explain that it's priced between the SV and SL Pathfinders. Base price is just over $44,000. The only real option available is two-tone paint at $795, so this loaded one in Scarlet Ember and Super Black stickers for $44,900 with delivery. There's an extra 0.6 of an inch of ground clearance, bespoke bumpers add an inch to the length, the heavy-duty roof rack that takes on 220 pounds adds 3 inches to the height. 18-inch wheels get a beadlock look. They're wearing Toyo Open Country all-terrain rubber for improved grip on the gritty stuff. And the suspension is tuned a bit firmer. The V-Motion grille gets blacked out too. Inside, there's some unique stitching. A surround view camera system helps keep this shiny and new looking on the trail. And if an owner somehow forgets that they're driving a Rock Creek, it's a good bet they need to see a neurologist. The 3.5-liter V6 in the Rock Creek is slightly different. Put premium fuel in the tank and the output rises to 295 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. That's a boost of 11 for both figures over standard Pathfinders. I'll take it. Don't forget, Nissan ditched the continuously variable transmission for a 9-speed. I find it very easy to shift into manual mode, a little annoying. Cog swaps are done up here. There's hill descent mode and 7 drive modes, the same as any Pathfinder equipped with intelligent 4-wheel drive, nothing extra happening there. Rock Creek gets a standard tow package for tugging 6,000 pounds. Let's start with some off-roading. It's been a while since I've shot on this road, and imagine my surprise to find out that the road on the right is the old one. Seems like it's washed away. The one on the left is new, and the engineers have filled it with rock. And this is near a creek. Seriously, how can I not do this, right? Come on, let's go. This front-facing camera, that's pretty nice to have. There's no extra protection for the oil pan and expensive drivetrain components. I'm careful not to prang those. Does the extra ground clearance make a difference? Yeah, probably. I think it's mostly the tires, though, with their extra grip. There's no rock mode. I've just set it to the automatic program. Pathfinder isn't a body-on-frame vehicle, and there's no transfer case, no 4-wheel drive load. Look, are people going to really take their Rock Creeks on terrain like this? Probably not, okay? They'll do this with a Wrangler, but not with a crossover. See? Jacking this up higher would affect everyday use, both driving dynamics and entry and exit. Nissan doesn't have a tough SUV entry like 4Runner or Bronco. There is no enhanced Armada. Rock Creek has a little bit more than a half an inch of extra ground clearance. Could probably use another half an inch here. Not that it makes any difference in this situation, but approach, departure, and breakover angles are all improved a smidge with Rock Creek. So here's the deal. I've driven the regular Pathfinder in some light off-roading conditions, the kind of stuff that the people that own this rig will actually do. And it's fine. Let me show you some of that stuff. Considering what manufacturers have shared with me, the vast majority of people plunking down 45 grand on the Rock Creek would probably stay clear of that nasty stuff and do something more like this. Nissan was trying to simulate a poorly graded Forest Service road at this event. The normal Pathfinder scampered around without any problems. And knowing what I know, most Pathfinders, Rock Creeks included, will never see duty like this. But good to know that it can handle it. Inside, this model looks a little different than other Pathfinders. Again, there are no real options available, just paint choices. All Rock Creeks get black interiors, and it tends to soak up light. It's dark in here with no sunroof. The heated seats are comfortable for the long haul with fabric that's grippy and breathable. That's synthetic leather on the sides, by the way. Considering the mission of this rig, the lack of a heated wheel is a miss. The 6-speaker audio system is tepid, no upgrade path either. And while the user interface is much the same in all Pathfinders, it's basic in function and appearance. Its best attribute is customization. That's easy to do. Rock Creek does not get a Qi charger. It also loses out on wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which are battery vampires. Phones should be powered when using those. All Pathfinders have great utility with large storage areas that are well thought out. The door pockets will take on water bottles much bigger than this. A decent-sized backpack stash is here. Materials look appropriate for a vehicle in this class. For a spendier look, move up a model or two. Rock Creek is strictly a 7-passenger vehicle, and the mid-row does the kind of stuff that you'd expect from a 3-row SUV. Knee, leg, and footroom are what you make it. Lots of space for your noggin, too. These chairs are not heated. Move up to a different Pathfinder if friends and family complain. At least they get a good amount of storage, and a separate climate zone, which can be overridden up front. To get to the way back, this can be removed easily. And there's a completely flat floor, that helps. But the usual way is more convenient. No need to remove a child seat if there's one installed there, but it is best to remove the kid. Is there tons of room back here? No, that's the case for almost all 3-row SUV crossovers. Pathfinder's not so bad though. I'm 5'9" and I've got that much headroom. When it comes to knee, leg, and foot room, not an awful lot. That is the case for almost all of these rigs. There are belts for 3. That would be for little kids. For adults, they better be very intimate or just put 2 grown-ups back here. There are some cup holders back here and what looks like blanks for USB ports on the fancier models. You gotta remember, almost all of these crossovers and SUVs in the 3rd row have cushions that are very low, so your knees are up high, there is no thigh support. They're not overly comfortable, but Pathfinder isn't half bad. Arguably, Rock Creeks will cover most of their miles on pavement. Are you going to notice that little extra power if you put premium in this vehicle? I don't know, maybe you're very sensitive. I don't think that I would. Besides, Pathfinder on regular fuel is perfectly fine off the line. Motoring up to 60 miles an hour from a standstill is an easy 7 seconds. And thank goodness, there's a real geared transmission. That CVT, not so great. This, much better. Stop and think about how much distance driving you'll be doing before going with this model. Pathfinder's pretty quiet at highway speeds. You're not going to hear much wind noise off the A-pillars. The Rock Creek does have those all-terrain tires, though. You will hear them just a little bit. It's not a deal breaker. Thought there'd be more wind noise off the chunky rack, but even at 75 miles an hour, it's not all that noticeable. The suspension is set on the firm side, which takes care of body roll in cornering, but there's nothing really memorable about the handling of the Pathfinder, and that setting does let sharp bumps through. You're gonna feel those. The stiffer off-road suspension does affect the ride quality, and the rack and ride height make this Pathfinder less aero-friendly. Rock Creek's fuel economy is the worst of all of the Pathfinders, but not by much, 1 mpg. The EPA rates it at 21 miles per gallon average, and really, you can make that up by just not driving so aggressively. But who wants to do that? Not me. I like to look at the automatic engine stop-start systems because, it's a real-world thing. It's something that you use. This one is pretty smooth on shutdown. On startup, it's maybe a little rough, and you can always turn it off if you really don't like it. ProPilot Assist is standard on all but the base Pathfinder. It's a decent ADAS system. The upgraded ProPilot with NaviLink is better, but can't be had on this model. The lane keeping centers up well, and the wheel doesn't fight the driver much. It takes gentle curves on the highway fine, but not locked in. As usual, I did not test the automatic emergency braking. If a powered tailgate is a must for you, sorry, Rock Creek is not available with one. Now, I've said this time and time again, if you really want utility, get a minivan. Nearly all 3-row crossovers have limited space when you're using all the seats. These are about the size of a carry-on suitcase, so even if there's only 6 people on a trip, 2 of them will be wearing the same clothes every day. This is nearly 17 cubic feet. And remember that removable center console in row 2? I suppose one more duffel will fit in here. There are slots for dividers too. There are a couple of these back here. No power port. That would be handy when camping. Dropping the backs is a cinch. Raising them might be an issue for petite owners, no power option. At this point, there's 45 cubes to fill up. The all-weather liner makes it look like the floor is more uneven than it is. It's nearly flat, and this is 80 cubic feet. I can see Pathfinder used as a 2-row machine with a huge trunk most often, so that's how I'm testing it. Competitors like VW Atlas, Chevy Traverse, or Buick Enclave will swallow 19 to 20 packs of the 2-ply, though they are larger. The Nissan stops at 13, a significant difference. It's time to wrap this up. Green light. The Rock Creek model adds the tougher styling that people are looking for. Its tires and clearance could make a difference when the going gets rough. Like all Pathfinders, there are useful storage spaces that make family life easier, and this generation is a handsome machine that's a manageable size when driving in tight urban areas. Yellow lights. That reasonable size means there's less cargo space for outdoor gear. The all-terrain tires aren't too loud, but they are heard in the background. Fuel economy suffers a smidge over other Pathfinders. Red light. There are compromises to the driving dynamics on-road with the Rock Creek package. The interior is dark with a rudimentary user interface, and there really are no option packages, no way to get some desirable features. There's a great image happening here. This Pathfinder looks like a capable body-on-frame SUV even though it's unibody, and chances are it'll take on the kind of wilderness owners would point it at with little difficulty. It's not intended for severe duty. No doubt the Rock Creek Pathfinder looks great, but let me leave you with a tip. The SL model with the luxury package, it might be $3,500 more than this, but it adds all sorts of nice stuff like a panoramic glass roof and a Bose sound system, the kind of stuff that people really like. This is nice, you just can't get all the luxury features in it. So, size up your needs and priorities. For some, the Rock Creek package is a perfect balance. Others will find it compromises the comfort and features that they want. Looking for the outdoorsy image? A Patagonia jacket and new hiking boots are always an option. Automakers have to toe a fine line with models like this. If it's just a trim package, then it's slammed as a poser, toughen it up too much, and it isn't appealing for everyday use. It'll be interesting to see how Rock Creek does. People will vote with their checkbooks. This is the credits shot. Martin, come on up here. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
He's kind of shy. Thanks for driving, though. I'll remind you that I've got a quote service, and I know there are a bunch of them out there, but if you use mine, it supports this channel, and I do need to buy gas for this rig. And to be honest with you, I actually gave it a try because my wife is thinking about buying a new vehicle, and it actually worked. I got pricing from 2 dealerships right away, and it was no pressure. So give it a try. Buying vehicles these days, it's kind of tough. Well, that's how I feel about the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder Rock Creek. Before I go, a little car shopping advice, and it's all free. For starters, test drive, okay? I know that I've said this before, but test drive at least 3 different vehicles, because if you haven't bought in a while, 5, 10 years, you probably don't know what you don't know. Things have changed a lot. And to get the best deal, don't just buy at the dealer that's closest to you. Travel, shop around. You might get a lower price. And then finally, buy the car you love, all right? You'll keep it longer, it's the best value in the long run, and you'll be more satisfied with it. It's just a better deal. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to this channel, click notifications, follow me on social media. I'm on post now. And if you have a question, leave it in the comments. That's Driven. I'm Tom Volk.